FF Beer Money writes, I have a question for Andrew.
Yes.
So much is made about ratings,
Yes.
demo, etc. I believe you and Meltzer have both said it's all about the content and not so much ratings anymore. And as much as people bring up WWE's declining ratings, I still feel WWE will get double its TV rights money as NBC and Peacock seem so invested in WWE.
All right, Rich is
Your
going to take a
thoughts?
snap now while I explain. I know. The numbers stuff. The ether. I pumped the ether up in the studio, but only towards him. Okay. Who do ratings matter to, right? Who does viewership matter to? Who does demo versus total viewership matter? In reality, guys, all that it should matter to is an indicator that your product is possibly working to the brand and the sales team for the network. That's all that this is for. It's these ratings are for sales. When we're talking about the 18 to 48 mattering more than the overall demo, that's determined by what's your key demo for your station. If you're on a station that caters, here's a great thing. CBS caters to a much older number with blue bloods and all that stuff, right? They don't care about the 18 to 34, 18 to 48 for that block because the demo number is a much older audience. So if you are on a station that's catering younger, you really don't want your overall demo to be higher in the older number. You want it to fit the narrative of the station. For sales reasons, the fact that people are arguing online, laymen, civilians arguing online that are out of the I find it bizarre, and it's not really an indicator of which product is better. It's not an indicator of which is doing better. We all know WWE has a 50-year head start, 60-year head start over anybody else. They're always going to be the dominant force unless something tragically goes wrong with that company.
Right.
Which I don't see that happening. When we're talking about these numbers, however, ratings are not the end-all be-all. How come we're not talking about DVR plus 3? Those numbers aren't readily available as much because they're not sexy. Because it doesn't matter to the sales team as much when you're talking about DVR numbers. How about 7-day DVR numbers, total viewership? How about if you combine everything? Nielsen is not the end all be all. That's not the only metric that's involved here. You look at YouTube viewership, you look at all this stuff, and I will tell you, AEW is nowhere near WWE's level. Okay, when it comes to global recognition. They're not on the same level. We love it. I love AEW. One day, possibly, maybe. Not today. Are they doing a better product overall? It depends on what you want to watch. SummerSlam was a realization to me. It was an eye-opening moment to me. When we're sitting there at Survivor Series, and I turned to Rich and I said, oh my God, I get it now. This isn't pro wrestling anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, it hasn't been for a long time, but this was the moment for me for seeing I view it in a different lens now. It is a variety show. It is aspects of everything put in to garner the most amount of eyeballs from everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they are a machine. They want continuous growth from everywhere. Involving a Cardi B brings in a different viewership than involving another celebrity and bringing in this match and these key people on TV. There's so much analytics and forecasting that goes into WWE.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable when you think about it. Also, different interests, different partners have different creative input and different recommendations. Mattel wants you to push a cage match, a Shark Tank match. A cage. Was that a Shark Tank? The Shark Cage. The Shark Cage match. Because they're gonna sell the toy.
Right.
War Games was a great design for toys.
Ambrose Asylum.
Huh?
The Ambrose Asylum.
Yeah, the Asylum with the potted plant that they're going to sell. The car that Braun smashes. AEW has a different philosophy. Not saying one is right and one is wrong. They have very different intentions for a different type of viewership. So when WWE is doing anywhere, when they SmackDown, for example, could get about 5 million eyeballs on the product. I was told it could have been that first SmackDown or whatever. One of the key big SmackDown. It had like almost 7 million people that watched it at some point.
Yeah.
AEW's not doing that. And they're not going to do that for a while because it's a different product. It's a different product that caters to a very different group of people. Now, will they get there? I think they will. I think they're on the right track, but I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm watching. I enjoy it, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't enjoy either.
Right.
That AEW does. That's not my cup of tea. Same thing with WWE. I'm very neutral with this stuff.
Right,
I like
right,
what
right.
I like. I don't like what I don't like. I don't dwell on the negative. I'll mention it here. I'll talk about it here a little
Right.
bit, but I don't let it affect my. But like, I don't have like a bias towards a company. That's
Right.
silly.
Yeah. It is silly.
It's really weird. But at the end of the day, I do think WWE is very heavily in bed with Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I think Peacock very much likes that they're there because they're first run live programming regularly for them, and it gives them a different element. However, TV rights deals are going to be very different for the next signing, and it's an indicator of how television is shifting. So if the networks are happy and they feel that this prevented a major drop in numbers for them, they'll be happy. If not, like I think, as far as I know, and I'll say this, when speaking to people at NBC, they're not like, oh, these ratings suck for
Right.
NXT. They kind of want to be in that range of 650 to 750 for this. They understand what they're doing. They understand it's not going to be, a million viewer product, and there's not too much negativity about the ratings. I don't hear any negativity about the ratings, to be honest, unless they start plummeting. So, I mean, just a little indication, the little insight as to how this works. When you're arguing about demos, like people are arguing over what the demo was, like why do you even care? Like this only matters to your sales team.
Right.
That's what it's used for. So listen, it's fun. People want to argue. That's fine. But it is what it is.
That's a very meaty answer.
Thank you. Sorry. Thanks for checking out this clip. For more, be sure to like and subscribe. In addition to this channel, the Mat Men Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, and it's also available on F4WOnline.com as part of the Wrestling Observer Network.